Okay, I want to talk about the horrific crash that happened in Louisiana. At last check, at least 7 people are dead and more than 30 others are injured. This after a pileup along Interstate 55. The governor there is asking for people to make blood donations. This happened while a super fog event blanketed that area, and the images coming out of there are just surreal. I want to bring Anthony in to talk about this event, this super fog. What is it?
It's actually a meteorological term. Okay. And so you have fog in the morning, and sometimes fog can get reduced to 1/4 mile at the worst, or 0. But when you mix in smoke, and so what you have here is a combination of fog and smoke from
the crashes. Oh, from a nearby fire.
Nearby fires.
Wow.
So there's smoke from organic material. So that can be wildfires. In this case, it was a marsh. The real dry marsh.
Yeah.
There's a bad drought going on. It's exceptional in Louisiana, and so it catches fire. So when you mix in fog with smoke from a fire, from a marsh, you get what's called super fog. So while it's still 0 visibility, it can be widespread, and you have a case where you're going into fog, like we drive in it all the time, and it's patchy and it's fine. You can still see the car in front of you, and then automatically it goes to nothing.
Wow.
And you just can't see anything. And if you're in a highway like this where you're going 30 to 40 miles per hour or even faster than that, you hit that car, another car hits you, and it just pop, and it just piles up.
Some of the images I saw too, those cars were charged. So then when you factor in smoke from those fires, only adds to the situation.
So already at 0, and then once you get the fires, that's what makes it deadly, of course. I've gotten caught in it once. There was a brush fire up. It was driving through patchy fog. Again, it wasn't too bad, but there was a brush fire that was off to the right of me, and there was a gentle wind that just moved that smoke with the fog, and it was the most unnerving thing I'd ever been through, because it went automatically where I can't see anything. I'm going, and there was traffic.
Scary.
I'm already going about 25 miles an hour. If I slam on the brakes, this guy's going to hit me.
Right, rear end.
If I speed up to see, hopefully I can get out of this, then I might hit the car in front of them. And I just kept the pace, and fortunately,
white knuckling the steering wheel.
Yes, fortunately it wasn't very long, and then it got out of it. And it was a small one, but this marsh fire was large.
Hey, so can this happen here in Houston?
You need the fire from the smoke.
Okay.
So you need the smoke. You have to, what's going to catch on fire here? So you have to look around at that. There's really not a lot here that would have smoke. We don't really have those marshes that they have in Louisiana. I thought the same thing, and I'm like thinking, okay, what about this? It'd be more from my house. I think if we get it, it would be more isolated. Yeah. You think of some of the grassy areas, but you would need a large grassy area that would need to catch on fire. So for us, where we live, it's a little tougher to get super fog here, I think, because we just don't have that thing. I mean, you can get it in certain areas. You live near forest, you live near a marsh, and if there's a drought, you can get it. I was thinking, I think our worst thing would be regular fog. Fog can still be dangerous, 0 visibility. So you just got to be careful when you drive.
Can meteorologists forecast these super fog events?
Well, it's actually fairly easy to forecast, but the key is, how bad is it going to be? Because we forecast fog all the time. In fact, if you take Weather One right now, it'll show you where the fog is currently. And it's in Louisiana, in the state of Louisiana. So you could see the fog right now. And I could move this forward all the way through the next hour and a half. And it starts to dissipate, and it starts to mix out, and you're done with it by the time we get to 10:30, 11 o'clock this morning. But you saw where the fog is right now. And so you can forecast it, but the issue is, how bad is it going to be? Because it just has to be just perfect. Because you can get smoke, it's kind of like fog. You drive through it and you're fine, but you have to have just the perfect condition of light winds, the thick fog, along with smoke, and it just makes it nothing. And it looks like that.
Very scary. Very scary.
Really
this is something completely different, but I remember being on a Florida beach one year, and it was fog that came off the ocean, and it was so dense we had to evacuate. You couldn't see your hands in front of you. I'm not sure what that was. You know what that is?
That would have been regular fog. Well, that would have been sea fog.
Sea fog?
Yeah. Any kind of fog can be really thick.
Yeah, visibility was very reduced. Very scary stuff. Okay, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.